everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing some story times. Yes, we're doing story times. I'm so excited. I feel like we're all in need of some good story times. There's barely any on TikTok anymore. There's none on YouTube. So we got some stories here. These are any stories. I wanted this Google form to be for everyone, for people who have shifted, who haven't, who've mini shifted, or just had a crazy dream or experience, anything. So this is a Google form for everyone. So I am really excited. I feel like I need some stories too. Speaking of, at the end of this video, I have a story for you guys, a shifting story. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's not that big. To me, it's huge because it's a huge point in my shifting journey. So it's big. So stay tuned till the end. Anyway, I just want to say to everybody who enjoys watching these videos, I would love to ask for you to like and subscribe. So, I know you guys like these kind of videos and help me put more out quicker, faster, and yeah, just I hope you enjoy the video, especially if you keep coming back on the regular. So yeah, in my Google form I said any story related to shifting, what happened in your DR, your favorite memory that you have or had or experienced or anything like that, first time you shifted, a mini shift, a lucid dream, even crazy symptoms or something that happened while you were in the void state or doing a method, anything. So this is for everyone, so everybody can be included. Alright, first person we have here is Nellie, and wow, we got a hunky paragraph here. We got a chunk of a paragraph here. I am so excited, actually. I have never fully shifted, however, I have been really close to an actual shift a lot of times throughout almost 5 years of my shifting journey. Wow. Asleep methods, the Raven method, or other popular methods never worked for me. The only method that worked for me so far was to completely submerge myself into my DR. What I mean by that is to just imagine your surroundings, to be in the surroundings of your DR and focused only on that, or, if you will, focusing on the five senses. What really worked for me was not overly focused on details of my DR, but rather just be there and feel the DR. Like a month ago, I wasn't even attempting to shift. I only wanted to relax and sort of meditate. So I put on a fireplace sounds and some theta binaural beats and just loosely focused on the fireplace, which really got me relaxed. And after a while, I realized I smelled something like burning wood. Ooh. During this realization, I also noticed I wasn't in my CR room, so I realized I was probably shifting and started going over my Hogwarts script in my head. The room where the fireplace was in my Hogwarts DR, and I think that was the moment I screwed up. I've had several situations very similar to this one, and what I realized was that shifting is really just focusing on your DR fully, just being there and not thinking about anything else, which is not easy for me to do, by the way. I think whenever I realize I'm shifting, I suddenly change my focus onto my script. I think what that really does is that it reminds the universe or your subconscious that you're not actually there. 99% of the times when I deliberately try to shift, I can't seem to stop the thoughts which belong to this reality. You know, the intrusive thoughts and so on. Trust me, I do know. The other times I've almost successfully shifted, I've experienced symptoms such as the white light in front of my eyes, feeling disconnected from my CR, and smelling the surroundings of my DR. Even though I've never fully shifted, my experiences regarding shifting have truly proven me that it does indeed exist, and I can't wait to finally go to Hogwarts and learn to use magic. Also, English is my second language. Sorry in advance for some wrongly written words. Happy shifting. You did awesome. Happy shifting. Thank you so much for the story. There are a few things I wanted to talk about in here. I should probably talk about things as I'm reading. Not all the way at the end, because now I'm going to go back and find things, but my bad. Yeah, so the part where you said, shifting is kind of just, like, focusing on your being in your DR fully, just being there, not thinking about anything else, is kind of true. See, it works differently for everyone. As long as you know what works for you and what things you need to work on. Like, I love the self-awareness you have. Like, realizing, oh, maybe focusing on my script doesn't help me because it makes me realize I'm not in my DR. So, the only thing I could tell you is when you're attempting to shift or trying to shift is to just, sorry, I always randomly give advice in these things. I know this was just a story, but I thought I'd just give some advice randomly. So take it if you want. Like, you don't have to. I'm just randomly doing this because I thought I could help. But yeah, even when I'm just trying to shift, I try and change my thoughts into ones I would have in my DR. Like, yeah, just being my DR self and having thoughts about what I should do in my DR. Does that make sense, or did I fully twist that? Let me rephrase that. I try and think thoughts that I would think if I was in my DR. Like if you're going to Hogwarts, like, oh, I wonder what class I have tomorrow first, or like just things like that, you know. So I would just try and start doing that. But otherwise, yeah, that's the only advice I have. I know you didn't ask for advice. I'm just giving it to you. So anyway, thank you so much, Nellie, for the wonderful story. I really, really appreciate it, and good luck on your shifting journey. I know you can do it. You basically like shifted. Like, I know people say like mini shifting. That's just a term to differentiate, you know, like short form shifting and like long term shifting. It's still shifting. And the fact that you were starting to smell and realize that you weren't in your room, I would say you did shift. You did. So congratulations. All right, second story is by Astro. I haven't shifted yet, but I did have a dream a while ago of a few people in my DR in this reality, and something was telling me I need to shift and that it's a dream. And when I went to do a reality check and then I woke up. I was really upset, but I had a lot of motivation. Sadly, I still haven't shifted. I've been trying for 3 years now, but I will shift. Everyone will. I love the message at the end. And thank you for the story. I know I have some struggles in dreams, especially when I become lucid. I think it's a good sign that you're dreaming of people from your DR though, because that means like your subconscious is kind of getting used to the fact that like you could be going to your DR and actually trying to be there. That's your subconscious kind of accepting that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's a good sign that your subconscious is thinking about it and putting into your dreams. It's a good sign. So, take having dreams about your DR good signs. Thank you so much, Astro, for the story. And we are on another one. This one is from Anonymous. Okay. Like, no, yeah, they just chose to remain anonymous. Story time! Story number 3. I've had a couple dreams about shifting over the course of 1 year, and had my first mini shift a week ago. I'm really into the original Marvel movies, so of course my DR is the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the night that I first mini shifted, I had listened to a ton of subliminals throughout the day and was constantly thinking of a person I wanted to shift for, Steve Rogers. I see you. The only way I can explain what I felt as a mini shift was just the difference in surroundings and knowing I wasn't in my CR body. This is also something I'm starting to realize, especially a lot in the shifting community. Like, when you sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, it's different for everybody. Like, shifting is so vastly different for everyone. But I'm starting to notice a pattern that sometimes when you mini shift, you'll know. Like, you just have that sense of, yeah, I was there, that I wasn't in my room, I wasn't in my body. I was there, you know? I'm starting to notice that. Sometimes people shift without even knowing, realizing, and then later they'll realize. I don't really know how that works. I don't know, but it happens to some people. But I noticed a lot of the times when you shift, you know you shifted, you know? But I got so freaked out that I shifted back only a second later. By the way, my eyes were closed. I had a second mini shift during school. Oh my god. I used to think about this all the time. I used to take naps sometimes by accident. Totally by accident. Anyway, I would always be like, what would happen if I like shifted in school? And I came back and I'd just be like, oh my god. Like, I always have thoughts about that. Like, that'd be so crazy to me. Anyway, I remember zoning out in my global history class while drawing on some paper. Keep in mind, I was listening to a subliminal as well. I love that. Iconic. Just subliminals all the time. That is really good. Like, listening to subliminals in general. I'm not saying you should listen to it in school, but listen to them whenever you want. Just not driving or anything like that. Don't do that. And I just felt like I was falling, like my soul left my body for a moment, and my awareness was in another reality. Again, I got so freaked out that I jerked back into my CR body. I took a break from shifting a few days ago, though, because I need to study for upcoming exams. I totally feel you. Yesterday, I finally got back into connecting to my DR. I focused my intentions on my significant other, again, Steve Rogers, and girl, when I tell you I had a dream about him last night, I'm just so excited and grateful and skipping for joy. P.S. Good luck on your shifting journey. Aw, thank you. Good luck on yours. Oh, I love that. Okay, so you did shift multiple times. That is really, really exciting. Love to hear it. Love that, love that, love that. And it seems subliminals are really working for you. So I would just keep doing what you're doing. Having dreams about your DR, again, like I said, good sign. That was an amazing story. I love that. Thank you so much for the story. Oh my god, that was awesome. Oh, that made me all like smiley. That was cute. All right, story number 4, I think. Yes. Call me. I'm gonna call you QQ. There's 2 Q's here. I'm so sorry. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that. I'm kind of scared. I'm gonna just butcher it. Okay, let's hear your shifting story though. I'm really excited. Okay, so at the moment, I haven't induced a shift yet, but I've had a ton of stuff happen related to my DR. For context, my DR is JJBA Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. I'm gonna be so honest, I don't know what that is. I am very uncultured. I'm sorry. I live under a rock, yes. I'm aware of it. Wait, JJBA? It sounds actually so familiar. I have a computer right here. I can do this. I can Google it. I'd like to take back what I just said because my computer's not working. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Anyway, one of the central themes of my DR is that it involves a lot of travel. And there's a few distinct places where important events happen. Japan, Hong Kong, India, etc. So this one day I've been doing like nothing about my DR, lol. Just like a normal day and all, but when I opened my FYP, it was filled with stuff about those places specifically. Like, I don't play or get recommended travel videos on my feed at all, but somehow all these videos got recommended to me all at once, and I was literally in shock. And the following night, I went to bed and ended up having this very distinct dream about just goofing off with one of my friends in that DR, and I kid you not, I could practically hear and see him so vividly that I was reeling when I woke up. Anyways, as I'm writing this, I'm about to go shift to my DR, so thank you for taking the time to read this. I love your videos so, so much, and to my fellow shifters, you got this. Remember that shifting is only as hard as you let it be. Bye! I love that end message so much. Oh my god. Love that. Thank you so, so, so much. I'm putting your name back on screen again because, oh my god, thank you so much to you. I love that. I definitely take that as a sign from the universe, especially, and just in general. Like, that could also be, like, you, like, you're manifesting your DR around you, too. Like, when you start manifesting your DR around you, that can sometimes happen. When I was shifting to specific places, I would notice some specific themes for my DR would start appearing more in my CR. So that is a very, very good sign. So, signs are real, people. The universe will send you signs. Alright, number 5. By the way, I put 10 fingers up. 5. I didn't say it, but we have 8 stories. Plus mine at the end, so 9, I guess. Alright, this story is from Aiden. This is a really, really short one. Like, I'm talking 2 sentences. I was really close to shifting today when my brother barged in to show me his... Guess what could possibly want my attention? Yes, you can. What? Oh my... I don't know what to say about that. Thanks for the story. I don't know. Brothers just be brothering, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, story 6 by Anonymous. Oh my god. That was kind of creepy. I didn't like that. Oh my god. Anyway, story 6. I accidentally shifted at some point a few years ago when I didn't even know what it was. Ooh. I had just found out about lucid dreaming and already tried doing that a couple times with the so-called wild method. I've never heard of that. Ooh, with lucid dreaming? Or is that shifting? I'm gonna read this again. And was super excited about being able to make my dream look like Star Wars, and that was and is one of my favorite interests. So I was extremely happy when my dream started to coruscant already. I'm gonna be so honest, I don't know what that word is. I'm not uneducated. As some kind of formality, I still did a reality check, even though I was convinced I was dreaming, but it just didn't work. Couldn't breathe through closed nose, fingers didn't go through my hand, and I could read every bit of text around me. I had learned our Besh, aka the Star Wars writing on my CR. Thank you. Because I didn't know what that was. I've never seen Star Wars. I know, I'm uncultured. Shoot me. So looking back, that's not too surprising. Anyways, I got so confused that I woke up, and ever since I've only managed to lucid dream. That is crazy. That is definitely crazy. So, I hope this is motivating for everyone else that you don't need to, you don't need anything to shift. This person didn't know about shifting, and they shifted. So, hopefully that gives you some motivation. Hopefully it doesn't discourage you. To this anonymous person that said that, I would definitely continue lucid dreaming. If you're still only managing to do lucid dreaming, try and shifting through lucid dreams. I did a video on how you can try doing that, if any tips in there help you. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I love that. I used to do the same thing before I learned about shifting. I was like, I want to go to places in my dreams, so I started lucid dreaming. And yeah, I was like, okay, that's the closest I'll ever get to experiencing other cool places like that and realities and stuff like that and adventures. So, but now we're shifters. Crazy, huh? Quite ironic. Not really, but you know. Alright, we have a TikTok username. This is Pearl Cat Shifts on TikTok. Right here. Go follow them if you want. Yeah, let's read this story. I'm really excited for this one, actually. This one looks so interesting. Oh, okay. The first time I fully shifted with all my 5 senses was using the lucid dream method, but it was an accident. I was just dreaming, and then I randomly realized I'm dreaming. So I became lucid and decided to shift. I just affirmed I am in my Obey Me DR. Obey Me is a Japanese dating game, lol. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. I definitely think I've heard of that one, but I don't know anything of it, but I've heard of it. So thank you for clarifying though. And I shifted. I suddenly opened my eyes and was standing in the hallway of RAD, the school the player goes to in the game. But it was a little blurry and I was panicking, so I tried grounding myself by touching the walls and lockers. It got a little easier to move, so I started walking down the hallway and trying to breathe deeply to fully ground myself. Then I saw a bulletin board with the school announcements and stuff, and I just saw a sign-up sheet for some kind of competition or contest. I saw the first person who signed up, and it was Leviathan, which is pretty in character of him. Okay. As I always imagined him to be very competitive. Then I turned around and saw Leviathan turning a corner and walking towards me. I freaked out and shifted back here because I was so scared. At first I was sad that I shifted back, but then I realized that it wasn't the exact deer I wanted to shift to. As I scripted, I would wake up in my bed at the House of Lamentation. Hope I said that right. So I wasn't expecting to be at school. Anyways, it was really cool and fully proved to me that shifting is real. Now I basically never have doubts. I love that for you. I love the story. Thank you so much for that story. Oh, that was awesome. Oh my god, that sounds pretty freaky. I don't know what I'd do if I encountered someone from my DR. I'd be like, it'd be so hard for me to hold it together, man. It'd be actually intense. Thank you so much for that story. I really, really appreciate that. Okay. And is this our last story? It is. Our last story submitted is by Aria. So thank you so much, Aria. And let's hear the story. I already read a little bit of it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get into it. I'm just crazy. spoilers for Harry Potter, by the way. So if you haven't watched it, there's spoilers. And Harry Potter's been out for years. If you haven't consumed it by now, I'm sorry. Anyway, I shifted to Hogwarts and I met Cedric and I was like, oh, hi, Dedrick, by accident. And he just looked at me like, what did you say? And said, oh, hi. Then I walked past Draco and he looked so mad that... So I asked if he would pitch himself off the astronomy tower instead of coming back to school. Because he said it in the movie. Oh, right. And he just looked at me and said, that's barbaric, isn't it? So I said, oh, it just sounds like something you would say. Oh my god, you are a menace. You are an absolute menace. Oh my god. Also, I love your channel so much and thank you for still posting in 2025. Absolutely, I am here to stay. I am here to stay. I keep doing this. I keep clapping. There's just so many circles right now. Oh my god, you're an absolute menace. That is so funny. Oh my god. Okay, well, thank you for everybody who submitted a story. It is time for my story, my special story. Probably not as cool as half of those ones, but I still think it's cool. And it's important to me, and it was great in my shifting journey. It was a huge step. Okay, one leap for Tara here. So, let's get into it. Alright. We start in a lucid dream. So during the nights, actually, I was just having dream after dream after dream. Like, just consistently, right? And then this dream merged. It, like, transitioned into another dream. And I'm walking with my friends. Basically, I'm walking with my friends. It's nighttime. We're in a town. It's just, like, the three of us. I'm in a trio. And, like, to set the scene, walking down a dark, like, wet road. And there's just, like, houses on the side. On the right side, there's just, like, nothing. It's just all foggy. It was, like, there was, like, fog, almost, like, barricading, like, another area. You know in video games when they try and stop, they add, like, a border of something? It was, like, a fog was, like, a border. The town was over there. We were just walking. And there's, like, street lamps and everything. It was a freshly rained... Sorry, I'm really setting the scene here. So we're walking. And suddenly, I just realized I'm lucid dreaming. That's how most of my dreams happen. I'll just randomly be like, whoa, this is a dream. Like, I do nothing. So, there are a few times where I'll randomly be like, ooh, reality check. So, yeah. But, anyway, I'm walking and I'm just like, oh my god, I think I'm in a dream right now. I am in a dream. And so I look at my hands and I was like, hey, do the finger test. These never work. I still do them in every dream just because it's a habit at this point, so I still do it. But this always does this in my dream. Never goes through my hand. So I did this and I was like, typical. Count my fingers. That always works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I had like another pinky. And I swear I look away and I look back and there was just a little stub of a pinky here. It was just really weird. It was hilarious. I started laughing. I was like, okay, yeah, this is a dream. And I was like, okay, let's find some creative ways to shift here. Because there's nowhere I can make a portal right now. I'm not going to do it in front of the people in my dream, because we all know what happens to people in my dream. Or, I don't think I made a video about my dreams. I will one day. I will soon, about lucid dreams I've had and just random creepy dreams I've had. I'll do a whole video on dreams. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this in front of people because they'll probably try and kill me. And I need to find a creative way to shift. And so I was like, okay. I don't remember controlling it myself. Like, as soon as I woke up, like, the memory kind of faded and it feels like a regular dream that I didn't control, but I know I controlled it. Because I have a little bit of memory of controlling my dreams, and I know I controlled my dreams. But, like, looking back at it now, it's like, it felt like I wasn't in control. Which is so weird. That's what happens to me after a lucid dream. It's like, I remember it as a regular dream, all fuzzy and everything. Like, I don't ever remember controlling it. But I know I did, you know? Just context. So anyway, randomly, I don't know, I'm really, really creative in my dreams. There's a blue jay! Oh my god, there's a blue jay! Okay, like, 1 second. I wanted to show you guys, but you can't see it now. It's just breaking my tree right now. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. I love Blue Jays. Oh, where was I? Anyway, yeah, I get very, very creative in my dreams. And so I was like, my friend had like a drink, and I was like, oh, can I just like borrow your drink for a second? They're like, yeah. And I'm just like, okay. And I was like, oh my god. Like, I do really random things in my dreams, okay? So what I figured out, I have to incorporate things in my dreams. Like, if I want to make a portal, I can't create a portal. I have to incorporate it somewhere in my dream. Like, act as if it's already been there. Like, it's a normal part of the script of my dream, right? Like, I'll just be like, oh, I'm bored. I'm gonna go to the portal that I always have in my room. My secret portal that nobody knows about. Like, I just affirm in that way. Instead of being like, I have a portal, I have a portal, I have a portal. And creating resistance, I say it as if it already exists, right? Really randomly, I was just doing random things to really ensure that I shift. And so I took the juice and I was like, this is actually shifter juice. I don't know. I was like, this is shifter juice. When I drink this, I'll shift to my DR tonight. I'll wake up in my DR.
Right? We ordered the Among Us potion from the dark web, and supposedly, when you drink this Among Us potion at 3 a.m., you turn into the imposter.
Right? So I drank it, and I was trying to read the label, and yeah, it was gibberish. I could not read it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, great. Now I'm gonna have to wake up. I drank this juice. It's only gonna work if I wake up now. So, how do I get out of here? And I was like, you know, I'm gonna fly away. I'm just gonna fly away with the wings on my back. In my DR, and my MHA DR, which is my main DR I'm really shifting to right now, My Hero Academia DR, I have wings. So, I literally just took off and flew into the fog. Heard my friends just be like, "What? Where are you going?" I just gone. And I was in the fog and I was flying for a little bit, and I was like, "Whoa, this is weird." It's been a while since I've flown in my dreams, so it was really, really cool. But I could not get distracted. Because if I got distracted, I'd leave the dream. Anyway, so, and then I find like this like cloud area. It was like a cloud structure shelter. It was like cloud, and then like behind it was like a shelter, you know? I don't know what this means, but it was like a cloud bed, and then there was like a little cave overhang. I don't know, but it was from a previous dream I had this night. I was like, oh, this is the cloud that was in my dream that I had just like 2 dreams ago. Still the same night. I was like, okay. So I'm lying on the cloud for a little bit, and I'm like, ooh, this is comfy. And I was like, hey, what should I do? And then I was like, okay, I'm going to jump off this cloud and wake myself up. And I'm going to wake up in my DR. And so I do. Go to the cloud, and I just dive. And I like close my eyes, so I don't know when I hit the floor. And I just close my eyes, and I feel myself falling. And like it was going fast, and then it just kind of went slow. And it was like I like fell into a bed, but I was like waking up. It was really weird. But I did wake up from this. And as I was falling, I was just affirming, like, I'm going to wake up in my desired reality. I'm going to wake up in my DR. I'm going to wake up there, you know? And as I was opening my eyes, I opened them. And I was, like, I was leaning on my side. But I was, like, I wasn't fully on my back. I was, like, on my side of my head. But it kind of felt like I was, like, propped up. I don't know. And I opened my eyes. And I could see part of my DR room. Like, my room here looks completely different from my DR room. My DR room is really big. And I also have, like, on one part, I have, like, wood as, like, the ceiling. Kind of like, you know, like, in cabins, how they have, like, wood built everywhere. That's, like, what my ceiling is. It's wood. You know? And I could see that. I could see the wood beam, and it was also darker. In my CR, in the morning, it gets very, very bright, because this is a window right here. You guys are propped up on a window right now, and in the morning, light just beams here, and that's my bed right there. That is my bed. Wait, you can't see. There. And so the window would just blind me. It's like Apollo is shining his sun on me on purpose. Just wake up, child. Shout out to Apollo. Anyway, and it just wasn't like that. It was like my eyes were like half open, but it felt like it was like hard to open my eyes. It was like hard. It was like, you know, when that's kind of like gross, but you know when you have eye crusties and it kind of like it's like hard to open your eyes? That's what it felt like I had. Like my eyes were just really heavy. And I like opened them and I was squinting and I looked around and then I like closed them again and then I opened them and I opened them perfectly fine now. Now I open them perfectly fine and I'm in my CR. But I did open my eyes in my DR. That is my story. I opened my eyes in my DR. I have more to the story. But yeah, and at first, like when I was laying perfectly on my back. And I just like looked up. And my head was like straight. Like I was on my back. I don't sleep on my back normally, but it was also really hot. So, whatever. But like I woke up and the light was so bright in this room. Like, oh my god, there was no safe spot in the morning. I have a curtain I could put up, but I want to wake up early because if I don't, I'll sleep in till like 4. I'm kidding. Exaggeration. Slightly. Anyway, sorry, I get so off track when telling stories. At first, I was like, oh, it didn't work. And then I was like, wait a second. Because then I remember first trying to open my eyes. But that felt like it was like a while. Like, that just didn't feel like it happened here. That felt like it happened somewhere else. And it wasn't a dream. That, like, fully happened. And I was like, whoa, I opened my eyes somewhere else. That was not here. And I was so confident. Like, I just knew. I was like, yeah, I opened my eyes in my DR. And then I got really happy. So, huge step in my shifting journey after like almost 3 years of shifting. 2 years right now. In December, it'll be 3. So, almost 3 years. Yes, I have been counting. I know the exact date. I just like keeping track of things sometimes. And it's just a huge step in my shifting journey because I've mini shifted a few times, but I've never seen my DR, and I've always had doubts when I've mini shifted. I've always been like, did I actually, or was I just placeboing my brain? Like, did I really do it? Like, no matter how many times I did, I would just doubt. Even this one, I doubted a little bit, but I can't anymore. There are just so many signs that I opened my eyes in my DR. Like, my eyes feeling like that, all heavy, hard to open, and then a split second later, I opened them just fine here. It was darker in that room, and I even tested. When I was laying on my bed in the morning, I was like, wait, let me try something. And I, like, squinted, and no matter how closed my eyes were, I could see the light. But, like, when I slightly opened my eyes in my DR, like, it was pretty dark in there. My room is darker than the one here, obviously, because the windows are facing a different way. And it was just different. It was just a different environment, atmosphere, and everything. I was only there for a second, but I shifted, and it just feels like a huge accomplishment. And another thing, I didn't do a method. I didn't do anything. I did the lucid dream method, but beforehand, all I really did was, okay, I saw a video earlier, and someone said, like, statistically, the more times they've shifted, like, their successful shifts, what they've done that got them a successful shift. And all they really said was when they just had a lot of high energy or high hopes, like strong emotions, sorry, a strong vibrational frequency, like strong emotions like anger, sadness, really excitement or happiness. And I was like, huh, I kind of want to try that. And so I was just like getting myself really, really excited. So that's all I really did. I just got myself really, really excited. And I was also in the middle of doing a meditation, and then I was like, let me turn this off. In the middle of it, I didn't even finish it. I was like, no, this isn't working. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And I don't even think I said affirmations. I might have. I think I was just really focusing on seeing people in my DR and being there in general and waking up. And I just had a lucid dream, and I did it through there, so I think the lucid dream method is what's really going to work for me and what I've been trying to do. I have been curious on trying to astral project to lucid dream or give myself sleep paralysis to shift. Sorry, did I say astral project to lucid dream? I meant shift. I know people are going to be like, whoa, why would you ever get astral projection on, or I mean, sorry, I'm mixing everything up. Why would I get sleep paralysis on purpose? I've never had sleep paralysis. I'm gonna be so honest with you right now. I was always so thankful I never did, but I kind of want to try it because I've heard when you get into sleep paralysis, it's like instant, obviously, because that's like the state you're actually like dreaming in. It's kind of like a different plane. I don't really know, but that's something I wanted to try and experiment with and give intel on that, or astral projection, because that astral projection sounds so cool, man. That sounds awesome. If I knew about that sooner, I would have been doing that way faster than lucid dreaming. But, you know, yeah. So that is my story. Excuse me. So I shifted. That is my shifting story. I I'm really happy with it and I'm really proud. I know it doesn't seem super super huge to some people, but it's really big for me and it's a huge step in my journey and I'm really happy about it. Like I still can't get over it. Like I got to finally see my reality. So there are even some times where I still doubt, like what if you really didn't? What if you were still halfway in a dream and stuff like that? But something deep down is just telling me I did. So I'm going to believe my intuition. I'm going to trust myself. So, yeah. Thank you to everyone who stuck around during this video, and if you are still here, there's some Google Forms in the description below, so if you want to put in your stories of any kind, can be any story, put them down below. Yeah, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!